from Mrs. Bridget. Okay, thank you very much for joining us again. Yes, Mrs. Bridget.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, it's always a pleasure for me to be here to talk to consumers and even to talk to businesses, and in this case to the distribution companies and even to the regulators and everyone that is a stakeholder in the electricity industry, because the idea behind this program is to empower consumers, to empower all of us to begin to be accountable, especially the service providers, to be accountable to their consumers, and also to be transparent in their dealings with electricity consumers. So it's such a delight for us to do what we're doing, you know, on behalf of consumers and the generality of Nigerian consumers or Nigerian citizens. So, you know, with the recent upward review of electricity tariff, a whole lot, the conversation has been going on. I don't think there's a day since the tariff was even reviewed upward that you will not, if you check the dailies, you will not see anything about the new tariff, because this is such is a burning issue.
Exactly.
And that's why we really want to look at some useful tips that will help consumers in the management of their electricity, in the management of their electricity at their various business spots and homes and everywhere that electricity is being used. And I tell you, whether you are actually using generator or you are using any source of electricity, if you learn how to conserve it, you know, how to use it efficiently, it will really be to your advantage. Exactly. Even if it is solar, for example, that you're using, if do you know that if you put on everything that you're not using at the same time, you have an inverter,
you're wasting energy.
Do you understand? You're really wasting the energy. So whatever source of energy you're actually using, it has what it tells on you. If you overuse the inverter, it will pack up. The inverter too has an expiration period. It's not something that you'll be using forever. So if you use it wisely, it will last longer for you. If you use it anyhow, it will end anyhow.
Anyhow, yes.
So what we're trying to say is that whatever source of electricity we're using, let's learn how to use it well. Okay.
And you know, before now, Mrs. Bridget, you know something, what that surprised me was that, my younger brother, most of the time when we're at home, I'll see him switching off the lights. We'll switch off the lights. Sometimes when our fridge is too cold, he'll switch it off. I'll be complaining, why are you switching off everything? We need it. He'll tell me, I am saving energy. I'm saving energy. I'm like, what? I don't understand saving energy. Where did you learn that concept from? So it's now that it's now dawned on me when you talked about saving energy. I was now recalling what my younger brother always do, because it gets me, you know, angry and pissed off that all the time when I come, I'll meet the refrigerator off. At some point, we'll have to switch it on, switch it off. I didn't know he was actually impacting knowledge in me that we need to save energy. If during the daytime we don't need lights, why do you have to leave all the lights on during the daytime? It has to be off. We use it when it is needed.
Of course, and then you have the sunlight.
Yes.
The essence of the sunlight is even brighter than the lights during the daytime.
Exactly.
So why do you leave your lights on when you are actually even wasting the energy? And apart from the fact that you are wasting the energy, even if, for example, you are an unmetered consumer, you should allow the unmetered consumer, let the energy be channeled to the people who actually need it. Because it's not everybody. Some people need energy at night. Some people need energy in the daytime for production.
At times you see offices at night having electricity, but residential areas don't have electricity.
Oh, yes. So these are things that we really need to think about and then do it well. For us as a commission, what we're trying to do is even to sensitize people to understand the need that we need to even conserve this energy and take it to where it is needed at the time we don't need it. I tell you, you know, some of the consumption of energy varies at different time. Even ordinary switches, all these switches that you see, if you leave them on while you are, if you go and check your meter, for example, if you are a meter consumer, you will see that the meter is running.
So even these switches that you don't connect anything, but once it's on, it's consuming light on its own.
You understand, the consumption might be minimal.
Yes.
But if you cumulatively take all of, let's assume you have even over 10 points where the switches are on and they are not being used. Sometimes you even plug your charger and leave it like that.
Leave it like that.
And you think that nothing is happening.
So that's even consuming energy.
Of course, now, because it's on. The consumption might not be as much as when it is really working, as like, for example, if it is your phone charger you plug and leave on, light is being on now. Exactly. It is not off. Do you understand?
Yes.
The consumption might not be as much as if you connect it with your phone.
But cumulatively, when you add all points together, you can see that you're wasting energy.
I try that sometimes, and then you see. If you check, you see that, yes, but if nothing is happening, your meter will not even be moving.
Okay.
So some of the tips that we want to give you this morning concerning how to save your energy that will be so useful to you is that, first of all, you need to change all your home bulbs to energy savers. We have energy savers. Sometimes the energy savers might appear more expensive. But in the long run, some of these energy savers, they last for years if you are able to invest in good ones. So first of all, change all your bulbs to energy savers, and then you will come to thank me later. Yes. You will see that you save more electricity. You know how you will know these things is if you are even a meter consumer. If you are a meter consumer, you really, if you take your time and use energy efficient products, you see that it works very well. And then switch off, like I rightly pointed out earlier, switch off and unplug all appliances when not in use. Ensure that your appliances are plugged only when you are using them. Okay? And don't leave freezers and refrigerators on overnight. You can only do that if you have good light. Sometimes, let me tell you, if your freezers are blocked and then you put them on they work more. They drain energy, they take more energy when it is frozen. That's why if it is your freezer is well blocked or frozen, you need to even defroze it. Okay. Because the consumption becomes more when it is frozen. That we were taught a long time ago when we used to have engagement with Energy Commission. Okay. So ensure that you don't necessarily, when you have like 4 to 6 hours of constant supply of electricity, that should be okay. So let's take this very serious, and we should avoid incessant opening of refrigerators by young adults. But sometimes you just go and open the fridge even when you don't want to carry anything. You understand, there are people that will just go and open and even look. Severally, do you understand?
Yes.
Is your fridge. I know that all those things belong to you. We're just trying to give these tips so that we'll save more money and channel it towards something else. And then because the electricity is expensive, people are crying. Before now, you could buy when if you are on tariff band A, for example, maybe when you buy units of 10,000, you have a significant unit. I think somebody told me that when she bought 10,000, she got just 44 units.
Just 44 units?
Yes. If we do the mathematics, we might get the actual unit that is worth for 10,000. Okay. And then I can tell you that sometimes maybe that 10,000, depending on the size of your house, that 10,000 might just do you for a day if you have a big house.
Yes.
So imagine if you don't try to save your energy. If you are spending 10,000 every day times 30,
that's
how much is that going to be on electricity?
Yes.
So let's be wise.
That's actually high.
Let us really be wise. So let's get out what you need from the freezer and fridge and keep it closed when not powered to electricity and possibly locked for longer cooling. So when you bring it out, for example, you want to use something, just bring it out, and then when it is out and you preserve it, at the point you want to use it, it will still be cold.
Yes.
So, and then keep your homes properly ventilated and windows open for fresh air. You understand, in the daytime, most of the time people put on their ACs mostly because of the heat. if you are, if during the daytime, you can afford to just put on open your windows and get good ventilation.
Okay.
Unless where it becomes necessary for you to put on your AC. There are like maybe in the offices, you can afford, after all,
because
you
of
don't
some
work at
gadgets.
night. Yeah, the gadgets, and then some of the offices don't even have windows,
Yes.
so you can afford to use AC. And design homes are actually with larger windows. For those of you who are trying to build, you're advised to design your homes with larger windows, balconies, and cross ventilation. And again, if you use gas ovens rather than electric ovens, it will even be cheaper for you, because you tend to use more energy. I tell you, whenever maybe you're using your baking or your ironing, anything that will require using electricity, by the time you finish, you talk to me, especially at this era.
Yes, exactly.
This era of upward tariff review is something different. So you should also, in your homes, discourage boiling rings. All of these water heaters.
In fact, boiling rings.
If it is not now that rain has started falling, Nigeria is hot.
Nigeria is
you
hot.
To put on
you don't
water
need it.
heater. You can take your beds with normal water.
For safety reasons, boiling ring is not even too advisable in homes because of children.
Yes, so, and it is cheaper to heat water on gas stoves than electric heaters. So you can use smart electric devices that turns itself off when not being used.
Okay.
There are smart electric devices that will just automatically put off your appliance. For example, even if you are using water heater, there are some devices, some of them that immediately the thing becomes hot, it turns off itself. So let's endeavor to use such smart appliances that will turn off itself if we must, use water heaters. And then, very importantly, I can even attest to this one, use energy saving air condition with inverters. I noticed that one of the AC in the house, whenever the light is not even, like when we don't have like full current, that AC in the sitting room peaks. But the older ACs in the house will not peak. And the reason is because the other one that is energy saving, that has inverter, it peaks because the number of the wattage is very low. Okay. Unlike the other ones that load. In fact, some of them, one particular one is even the same. It's like 1 horsepower, and then the other one too is 1 horsepower. But because it's not energy saving, whenever the current is low, that one does not peak, but the other one peaks.
Because of the energy saving
efficiency. Okay. Design in the AC. So, and monitor use of AC at home by switching them off at night intermittently. It's very, very important. Install an inverter or solar panel though they might be expensive, but they are cheaper in the long run if you can. So these are very serious tips that we really need to, if we are able to practice it, it will help us. Let's also try to monitor pumping machines and install automatic floor switch in water supply to control wastages in water and electricity from usage. Install smart external security lights, that can just go off when it is daytime. Those ones are very, sometimes it's act of forgetfulness that we don't go to switch off our lights outside during the daytime.
Yes.
So if we can try to install all those smart security lights that will go off. Yeah. There are some of these. There are some lights that that are installed that are even solar. That one works with your shadow. It's when you come around there that the light
comes up. Yes.
The light, when you're not
exactly
there, you understand. So it shows that that's even a security light. It works when people are coming there, because the essence of security light is even to let people know that the people are around.
Exactly.
Because if you don't lit up your environment, the bad people will come and take advantage. Exactly. People can easily operate where it's dark. So let's be careful. Let's ensure that whatever kind of security light we're even installing, so that it will help us to preserve our energy, to save our energy. Let's use the smart ones that even when we forget, it can go off by itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So use lights, window blinds to let in natural light.
Okay.
Very, very important. You can also take walks more often, compulsorily, for all family members to reduce TV time and thereby save energy.
Exactly.
You might just some of these tips, you think that they are small, but they are really more. When you cumulatively take them, there are some houses that have TVs in all the rooms. If, for example, you have like a 5-bedroom, or even if it is a 3-bedroom, imagine when you have TVs in all the rooms.
And all the TVs are on
Mostly at the same time.
at the same time, yes. And they have ACs also in the room.
Yes, if you take some walks, to have some exercise, that 1 hour that you want to take some walks, you are saving energy.
You are saving
at that
energy
point
for
in
that.
time.
Yes.
And then you are also improving your health by exercising.
In fact, I'm very interested about this changing of home bulbs to energy savers. I notice most shops now, that is what they have. They have bulbs that are energy savers. So once the light is off, the bulbs will continue working. And I keep wondering, there's no light and your bulb is still working. Yes, they said it's solar bulbs, and it's very good. So once there is light, while it's working, it's also saving energy.
Yeah.
So are these the kind of energy saving bulbs that we need to install in our houses?
Oh yes, those ones, there are energy saving bulbs that you use to help you when you don't have electricity supply. Those ones too are there. And then the one that there are different varieties. This one we're talking about is even the one that works with electricity. Before now before I even got to know about energy saving bulbs, you have 100 watts. I don't know whether you've seen.
Yes, I've seen 100 watts.
100 watts, 60 watts. Now in these energy efficient bulbs or energy savers bulbs, you get 15. You have 15 watts. You have 25. Do you understand? I think maybe you have 5.
Yes, I've seen like less than 10 watts.
You
I
understand?
think 5
so if you
or so.
have those ones, as far as you can see, use them. You are conserving your energy.
Okay.
And you're saving your pockets. You will channel whatever savings you've made, you will channel it towards something useful.
Useful, exactly.
So, for you and your family. Okay. So you have to reduce the use of ironing machine. You have to reduce it. It's not everything that you must iron. Because those are the equipment that actually consume anything that has a heating element in it. Those ones.
In fact, I remember those days when we're in school. What we normally do is once we wash our clothes and they are dry, we'll just put them under our mattresses and we'll lie on it. In the morning, perfect, it looks ironed. So there are some, even these days, most of the ladies' wears are wears that you can even just wash dry and then wear. You don't have to iron it.
You understand? We're not even saying that you shouldn't do those things, but we're saying that anything that you are trying to use, just use the energy efficient one.
Okay.
And then you mustn't it's not everything, just iron anything that requires to be ironed. Like the one you're saying, most of these ladies wear that does not require ironing. Wear them like that.
Yes.
Once you sun them very well and you wash them, sometimes it's the way you even fold your clothes that would determine whether you need to iron them or not.
Okay.
So when you reduce ironing, you are saving so much.
Okay.
And then reduce the use of microwaves and deep fryers. They are super energy guzzlers. I tell you. If, for example, when you cook your food, get food warmers and put your food in the food warmers. That's what those days. That's how we grew up. Your food will just be in the warmers, and then anybody who is not around at the point the food is ready, when the person comes, the person would have to dish his own food from the warmer, and that's your saving energy. Imagine if everybody, maybe in a family of 5, and then at the time you finish cooking, only 1 or 2 were around. Then the third one will come, use the microwave. The fourth one, everybody comes back differently. You are really, really accumulating bills for yourself, because those ones, they take a lot of energy. Okay?
Okay.
And then install rechargeable fans and lamps for downtimes and energy light supply. If you do all of those things, I'm telling you, you will be saving yourself you will be saving your pocket some good money, because the power to power your home efficiently in an affordable manner is in your hands. You understand?
Yes.
It is in your hands. And the reason, you remember even when we always talk to consumers about, we advocate on behalf of consumers for every Nigerian electricity consumer to be metered. It's because if you're metered, you become in charge of your consumption. That's the advantage.
Exactly.
So you know that if you are metered, if you don't recharge or you don't buy, you don't vend, you won't get supply.
So most times the wastage of electricity usually has to do with people who are unmetered. I noticed that because people who are unmetered will say, okay, after all, it's the same amount I'm going to pay at the end of the day. And whether I consume the light or I don't consume the light, or I save the light, I don't save the light, I'm still going to pay the same amount of money. So why do I have to even save the light? After all, it's my money that is going. But no, it's called discipline. Aside from even paying the same amount of money you keep paying consistently, there's a way it teaches you how to be disciplined. I see it as being financially disciplined.
And let me tell you, Mariam, the truth is that even for consumers who are unmetered, you can even go, if you notice that you are really conserving this energy, because you are unmetered, it means that you are under capping. And then the capping regulation does not even say that you should be the cap that is given to you should be what should be used. The capping regulation is saying that the distribution company should not go above the cap. So meaning that if you are even trying to conserve energy and you tell them that, oh, this money you are giving me is too much, and then you go to the distribution company and say, you people should, I always don't even use this supply at this particular time. You can even go as a community to say that the light that is being given to you, this is how you use it. You try to conserve.
Okay.
Do you understand? Because even the capping, we've said it even on this platform. Some people, depending on where you live, wherever you are, if you are capped a particular cap, that's what you pay. Even when, for example, you live in the same area with somebody who is in a duplex, and what you just have is one bedroom.
As far as the same feeder, you pay the same amount. Okay.
Do you understand? Because that is the regulation when it comes to capping. But what I'm trying to say is that if in that kind of circumstance that you're trying to save energy, even as a community, and how you do it is by monitoring what you consume, you can go with one voice and tell the distribution company. They can even come and monitor,
okay,
and see that you people are really conserving energy at the point you're not using it.
Okay.
And if we're even good citizens, we can even go and tell the distribution company that at so and so time, don't give us lights. Because
most people are not going to be around, so this is when we want light.
Yes, you can have those conversations.
So is it possible for that to happen, for communities to meet their various distribution companies and tell them, okay, in the morning we all go to farm, so we don't even need light. Most times when we need light is at night. Is it possible?
It's very possible, because so that this electricity can be channeled to where it is needed most.
Okay.
I know that there was one intervention forum we went for, and I think it was around, is it UTC? UTC people came to speak on behalf of, I think it was some of the association that graced that occasion. They said what they want is that light should be given to them in the daytime, because that's when they need it. They also complain that light is given to them at night. At night, nobody is at
work at night.
So, and it is because the electricity supply was not channeled the way it should be. And at that forum, the distribution company took note.
Okay.
Because economic activities will also have to go on. If economic activities don't go on, the economy well-being of Nigeria will not be good.
Absolutely.
So we need the economic well-being is very important. Economic activities are very important. So we as citizens, let's come together, and do what will promote and encourage the growth of our economy by saving energy, by even talking to the distribution company, telling them our challenges, telling them how this energy should be channeled. Okay. Because sometimes when certain equipment of the distribution company goes bad, you will notice that some other areas are getting supply because they will have to channel the electricity. If they cannot distribute the electricity in the particular environment, they will move it. Electricity is not something that can be kept idle.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes you even hear that if they generate, they must take it somewhere. You can't generate and just leave it.
That's another waste on
You
its own.
understand? So
exactly.
if, for example, we are not using electricity, we know that we don't use it. Let's inform the distribution company to channel it somewhere. The idea about us saving our own energy is to save costs.
Okay.
You understand? In our various homes, if for us that are metered consumers especially, we need, when we save it, your units will not finish quickly. If, for example, you were not managing your energy very well and it used to take you, let's say, for a month, whenever, let's say, you spend 10,000 naira, if you start applying these energy saving tips, I'm telling you, see that the thing is now, even if, for example, it's even like it increases to 1 month, 1 week, is it not good?
Exactly.
How about even when it goes beyond that?
Absolutely.
If, for example, by you putting off your appliances when not in use, you save energy for up to you increase your energy consumption to up to 1 week.
Okay.
And then another way is when you now change your appliances to energy savers. I can tell you that you will now get additional 1 week.
Yes.
It means that
so when you're out of electricity,
instead of even vending every month, you will now be vending every six weeks.
Okay.
By using energy savers.
Energy savers, absolutely.
So it is very important if we try to put this to use. And with time, I will even come and talk to you about different wattages.
Okay.
Of different appliances we use, so that we will know. It will help us to calculate, and then very importantly, we need to have our electricity budget just the way we have our electricity budget. Our petrol budget and other budget for the things we need in the house things we do. If it will keep you in check, if, for example, you say that what you have for electricity is 10,000 naira, that will help you to be disciplined, and then ensure that you don't go beyond the 1,000 naira budget by saving your electricity. Because if you know that it's 10,000 naira, maybe that was what your brother was doing.
Yes.
You might not know.
Yes.
It might be what he was doing.
Because I noticed that every night he switches off everything, even the fridge, he switches off everything. And most times what I notice about him is that once the freezer is, frozen, he switches off the freezer. And then I'm like, why are you switching off everything? We still have food stuff. He said, but the freezer is already frozen. At least it can take another 24 hours to keep or to preserve the food items that are in the fridge. We are wasting energy. So before now, I never knew that it's very important for you to. I know that, of course, yes, for safety reasons, you have to switch off all your gadgets. But talking about saving the energy, on that aspect, I didn't even know that he was even saving energy, honestly.
And I tell you, even for me, I practice that. And you know that even when you just put off your freezer when it is frozen, you realize that even when you come to put it on, it's still frozen.
Okay.
Do you understand? So,
yes.
And if you even defrost your freezer, it will even help the consumption. Because like I told you, when we went for one engagement, they told us that when the electricity works, or your freezer rather works more when it is frozen.
When it is frozen.
So occasionally you need to even be defrosting your freezer.
Yes.
So that it will help conserve your energy.
And another thing again I noticed, which you even brought to my attention, was the aspects of using gas to boil water. So most times when he uses gas to boil water, I keep complaining, why are you using gas to boil water? Whereas we have electricity, why not use the electric kettle? Then he tells me, no, electric kettle is more expensive. Using it is more expensive. It consumes more light than using gas. I didn't even know all this.
Anything that has heating element, I'm telling you, you even see if it's something that you can even observe your meter. At the point maybe you are ironing, just go and see the way the meter will be running.
It will be running very fast.
Like I say, I'm going to bring, and I would also sensitize our consumers on the different wattages of our appliances, so that whenever we want to buy the appliances, we'll buy the ones that have smaller wattages or so. If, for example, in your house, instead of using maybe 2 horsepower, you can use 1, because the bigger the horsepower, the bigger the wattage,
and the more it consumes light.
Yes, if you are using, the consumption of electricity supply of 1 horsepower is different from the consumption of 2 horsepower.
And I heard that these yellow bulbs consume more light than the white one.
No, the white ones are the energy savers.
Okay, the white ones are
the bulbs.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's the ones that I was telling you of now. When growing up, those are the ones that we're aware of. All those 60 watts, 100 watts. You don't need it for just lightning.
Absolutely.
All you need is to be able to see something now. You understand? You don't need something, because some of these lights, when they are bright, it has a way of affecting your eyes.
Yes.
You just need to see. That's what you need the light for.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mrs. Bridget. Honestly, it's today's conversation was quite impactful, because there are so many things I've learned, and I'm sure you've also learned that using your electricity gadgets can consume your light. So please, if you know that you are at home and you are not doing anything with any of your gadgets, learn to switch it off. Most times we make the mistake of putting our chargers on the socket and leaving it on. You think that yes, because you're not charging your phones, you're not charging your laptops, you're not charging your gadgets, it's not consuming light. So you've heard from Mrs. Bridget that it is consuming your light. It might not be, the consumption might not be much, but if you add it cumulatively, all the sockets that are on, all the chargers that are being left without, switching off, you see that you have consumed so much light that you're supposed to use it for another thing, something that is very important. So please, let's take note of that. And talking about the bulbs too, just like Mrs. Bridget have said, you can also do your own research. You can also go to where they sell electricity gadgets and ask, okay, please, I want to buy energy saving bulbs. So that if you're using the ones that always consume light, take advantage of this opportunity. Go and buy these energy saving bulbs. And hey, just like Mrs. Bridget has said again, some of these gadgets might be expensive, but in the long run, it is worth it, because it saves the consumption of light. It saves you, from consuming energy and then, spending a lot on energy. Once you buy it, these are things that once you buy, they last for like years. No. So you don't have to keep buying it repeatedly.
I've seen one bulb that even lasted for over 3 years.
Over 3 years?
Yes, and then because, even the energy saving, they are of different categories.
Okay.
The more you spend more money, of course, you can even ask for warranty. Especially if you are buying something that is expensive, that's what we encourage consumers. You can request for warranty. How long do you think this is going to serve me?
And you know that some of these bulbs that we use, the ones that are not energy saving, after 1 week, the bulbs will just go off.
Yes,
like that. You still have to buy. So aside from even consuming energy, you're even buying. You keep buying consistently.
In the long run, you are spending more money.
You're spending more money than you should. Exactly. So thank you very much, Ms. Bridget, for this information you've given us. I don't know, like now that we know how to save energy. This is an information that I'm very sure now our parents will, teach the children and will begin to save energy. How about our electricity distribution companies? Are they using this opportunity, like when they meet with their clients one-on-one, do they really advise them on all these things? Because these are things they're supposed to be advising people when they meet them, for giving them bills, or they want to have like some talk with them, they're supposed to be enlightening them, sensitizing them on the use of all these things.
This
Sometimes
energy efficient
yes,
products. Yes, I think some of the distribution company do that. You
Okay.
understand? But for us, even for us as consumers, we should always try to get information that will be beneficial to us.
Okay.
I think that some of them do, some of the distribution companies do, because I know that they also have challenges. If they empower or educate consumers, it is even to their own advantage, because they have challenges of some consumers not being able to pay their bills, So if consumers are using energy efficient, they will have more energy to be able to distribute to other consumers who may need those energy.
Okay.
So it's a win-win thing.
Okay.
And let's just inculcate it. Let's also look for information. Let's do what will really pay us better than what will cost us more money.
Okay.
If we save our energy, we will be able to channel our resources towards other things that are beneficial to us.
Exactly.
And I tell you, the reason why this energy efficient thing is very, very important is even because of the fact that things are not done the way they were before. Before now, we're all on the same tariff. You understand?
That's for both the metered and unmetered consumers.
No,
Or
not
the
even
tariff
saying-
band,
Yeah,
from
before
band
now
A
there
to
was
band
no
E.
any class of tariff.
Okay.
We're all paying the same tariff.
Okay.
Whether you were getting more supply or you are getting less
supply.
And that was the era of complaints from consumers of paying for darkness.
Okay.
So, and that's why, in order to be to appear to be fair to everyone, they came up with this tariff band classification to
Which
say
is a
that
good
okay,
idea.
the consumers who are getting more supply of electricity should pay more.
Okay.
And then the reason is because, like we've always said, even on this platform, because of the nature of the electricity in Nigeria, the problem of electricity in Nigeria is both fundamental and foundational.
Okay.
And it is something that for us, even as a commission, we don't have a mandate to carry out an entire reform. And what we try to do all the time is to resolve specific electricity consumer complaints and then empower consumers even on their rights to demand and insist all the time. And that's why the commission even has taken time, almost all our appearances, even on this platform and any other platform for that matter, we try to educate you on different things. Like it is very, very important for you as electricity consumers to know your ban. There's no reason why you should not even know your tariff ban. I tell you, if you know your tariff ban and apply these useful energy tips, useful energy saving tips, I'm telling you, it will help you a lot.
Exactly.
You know your ban, because for example, if you're on band A and you're applying these energy saving tips, you will be saving, and you are a meter consumer, you'll be sending more units. Saving more units. Even no matter the kind of band you are, instead of using, if for example, some people will tell you that they spend 5,000 naira for vending. If you are saving, you are using this useful energy saving tips, you will see that you won't be spending up to 5,000 naira monthly.
Exactly.
If that was what you used to spend, you will notice that maybe it will drop to even 4,000.
Exactly.
And you are saving 1,000. So know your ban and then apply these useful energy saving tips. And I want to also remind you, remind you to check your bills to know your ban if you are an unmetered consumer. Even if you are a meter consumer, whenever you recharge, your ban is specified, especially now that there's even most of the distribution companies have links where you'll be able to check your ban that you are assigned. And for especially electricity consumers who are even here in Abuja, you need to know you need to know your ban. Why I'm saying electricity consumers, it is here in Abuja is because you know what happened during because Abuja was what was used to test run the upward review of band A tariff.
Okay.
And that's why it's not only distribution company that encountered this.
Okay.
You know, it was Abuja Distribution Company alone that went to apply the new tariff across all the other tariff bands.
Okay.
You know, instead of just applying it to band A, they went ahead to apply it to even customers from band B to E. So you need to know, as a way of reminder, I said, and that is what it is, if you are assigned on tariff band A, you are expected to be getting a minimum supply of 20 hours on a daily basis. And we're saying this so that you can demand and insist on getting that 20 hours. If you're not getting that 20 hours, ensure that you lay a complaint. Under the new regulation, it is expected that if you don't have light, it is expected that the distribution company will even tell you the reason why you don't have light the next day before 10 a.m. And if for consecutive 7 days you've not been having supply, it is expected that the distribution company will downgrade you.
Exactly.
It's no longer, we're no longer using the previous regulation. That buffer that was 60 days is no longer obtainable. So you have to demand and insist from the distribution company, like, you know, the way the electricity, if you are not even getting supply, just ensure that you report, because there's something that is happening. When we had one meeting, and then it was discovered that they were not having light in their house, but the feeder is showing that there's light.
There's light.
So, and that's the importance of actually making a complaint, because there may be a local fault around your area.
Okay.
So if you don't report to the distribution company, they would think that there's light, and meanwhile you didn't enjoy the normal supply, normal hours that you are expected to get.
Okay.
And you have paid for it, or you will pay for it.
So which means if there's power outage for 24 hours, it is expected that the community should quickly involve the distribution company.
Why would you wait for 24 hours, a whole 24 hours?
Maybe you just want to, wait and see.
If you don't have lights, do you understand? 24 hours for me is too long.
It's too long.
It's for certain hours, because you have already exceeded what the regulation provides now.
Okay.
Because even under the regulation, it's 20 hours you are entitled to. So if you wait till after 24 hours,
and there's no light,
I don't usually have such patients.
Okay.
You understand? Because you are entitled to 20 hours, and then you have to wait for 24 hours. You have to complain. If, for example, you understand, whenever I get back home, to be honest, and then I don't see light, I will just have to find a way to reach out to the distribution company. Okay. Why are we not having light? Because especially sometimes it even happens that maybe when I was leaving for work there was no light, and then I come back home and there's no light.
And there's no light. Yes.
I will have to reach out. When I see that the number of hours is becoming beyond what I'm supposed to get. Because if you allow it to get to certain hours, if, for example, now I'm on band B, I'm under 16 hours of supply. Okay, I'm even using this to say it to us that if we're assigned on tariff band B, we're expected to get a minimum supply of 16 hours on a daily basis. I'm on band B. If I stay for 10 hours without light, it means it's remaining 16 hours. It's 6 hours now.
Yes, it's remaining 6 hours.
To go. Yes. And I don't complain. It means I'm not going to get anything. Why should I can't wait for 10 hours.
Exactly.
Because it's not going to balance the number of hours I'm expected to get.
Exactly.
So let's be wise. So, and if you are on tariff band C, you are expected to get a minimum supply of 12 hours on a daily basis. Therefore, if you don't get such supply, demand and insist on the distribution company to give you supply. It is when the distribution company is refusing to act, then you should be able to escalate it to the commission. And if, for example, you are assigned on tariff band D, you are expected to get a minimum supply of 8 hours on a daily basis. So if you're not getting this supply, speak out and engage the distribution company first of all before you escalate it to the commission. And the last tariff band is band E. You are expected to get a minimum supply of 4 hours on a daily basis. This is very important for us to know, because if we know and we're not getting these services, it's expected that we make a report. Let's use all the available means of making complaints to the distribution company, especially if you have access to the social media. Just go there and complain and provide all your details. Okay. If you have their phone number, do so. You mustn't visit their office. It is only when you don't have access to all of these platforms and the only place you know is their office. For me, I reach out to the distribution company at any point, anytime. And I'm not doing that. I don't do that because I know my rights or because I work for the Fccpc. I'm doing that because I know my rights.
Exactly.
You understand? So
yes.
Let's do whatever we're doing because we know our rights, and then we have a responsibility to demand and insist on our rights at every given point. And I tell you, even the Abuja Distribution Company, I think they run it 24 hours.
Okay.
You can call them at any time. I don't know about other distribution companies, but I think that most of them will have platforms that you'll be able to reach out to them at any point in time.
Yes.
And if you reach out to them at any point in time, they will always respond to you, especially when you even go to social media. We're in an advent of social media. Let's utilize it by getting these service providers to do what is expected of them. Even for us as a commission that we don't even provide services, for money, we even respond. We are on social media platform and then we respond to consumers. So I see no reason why these service providers will not. So let's engage them. Let's demand and insist on our rights at every given point.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bridges. So finally, before we wrap up, you're going to give us all your social media platforms, your contact address, your phone numbers that consumers can reach out to you if they have any further complaints or inquiries they want to make.
Okay, thank you very much. If you want to interact with us on our social media platform, you can do so. Our social media platform is the same. It's at Fccpc Nigeria. At Fccpc Nigeria, you can be able to chat with us and engage us. And then if you want to visit our website to file your complaints or to make any inquiry, is www.fccpc.gov.ng. www.fccpc.gov.ng. If you want to also reach out to us, we have a dedicated electricity phone number that you can send us WhatsApp, you can send us SMS, you can also call us. The number is 081 1987 7785. I take that again. 081 1987 7785. You can always reach out to us from Monday to Friday, but Saturday and Sunday you can only send us WhatsApp or send us SMS. But you can do that at any time of the day or night when it comes to WhatsApp or SMS. Okay? And then if you want to visit us to file your complaints physically here in Abuja, we are located at number 23 Jimmy Carter Street at Sokoro. We are located at number 23 Jimmy Carter Street at Sokoro. And again, if you also want to reach out to us on our email address, the email address is contact@fccpc.gov.ng. contact@fccpc.gov.ng.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Bridges, for coming, and thank you for giving us this useful information about saving energy. So please, all the households and people in their various working places, try to save energy because it is very important. When you save energy, you save money. Thank you for joining us on the program, FCCPC Hour, brought to you by FCCPC with the support of MacArthur Foundation. See you same time next week, same station. My name is Mariam Mbaka. Have a good day.